Hey everyone, my name is Jasmine Ortiz. I'm founder and CEO of Keep It Jasmine and host of The Jasmine Ortiz Show. I'm super honored to be included as part of the Artist Uncut Multimedia Broadcast Network. Huge thank you and shout out to Cliff, our founder and CEO of Miser Media, for including me and believing in my journalistic skills. Now I just want to dive right in to what we're all about. This podcast series is meant to highlight up and coming entrepreneurs, rising stars, and change makers in our industry in Gen Z culture today. Super excited to have amazing Georgia-born rapper, entrepreneur, and rising star G Hendrix here with us today. We're going to delve into his background, what got him into music in the first place, what inspires him, and what keeps him motivated to keep pushing forward in this industry. So welcome, G Hendrix. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Absolutely. So
It's
I
a
just
pleasure.
want you to tell the Artist Uncut audience a little more about yourself, about your history, and where you're at right now in your career.
Well, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Marietta to be exact, though. And yeah, I just started rapping probably about a year ago, year and a half. And
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
this is all kind of new to me. But yeah, I grew up, kind of rough, and that's just what comes with the lifestyle. That's what I rap about. That's what I talk about in my music. And right now, things are getting bigger, better. I'm finna have to start being more organized. Things, as you can see, things are getting a lot. But that's where I'm at, like, with it all. I'm just growing.
Absolutely. Life is all about growth and pushing forward into the next chapter. I like what you just said. It's getting to be a lot. I feel that way every single day of my life.
Yeah, it's
Things are
becoming a
getting
lot.
to be a lot. I get it. So
Yeah.
I had no idea that you only started rapping about a year ago because as I was looking through your discography on Spotify, you had a
Mhm.
very busy 2024. You had 6
Yeah.
releases in 2024, right off the back of a whole album that you released in 2023. So
Right.
I want you to talk a little bit more about that because that is such a huge accomplishment as an artist, just being that consistent, especially since you're just getting your career, on its feet.
Right. I've been recording, making music for a long time now, like since I was 16. I just been working in the lab. Like I always got stuff in the vault, just ready to drop. And I just wanted to kind of make a statement. Like when I coming out, I wanted to make a statement. Like letting people know that I'm serious and yeah,
100%. Yeah,
for
no,
real.
it comes across because I mean that's another level of grind right there. And then the fact that you're coupling in, doing interviews like this and making music videos. Your latest release, Stranger Things, is really sick, by the way.
Thank you,
What
I
was
appreciate
the
it.
inspiration for that one, and how did you go about making the music video?
Stranger Things was just like one of those things I came up with me and my producers. Because my cousin's also my producer, so we just are very close. We have like, so it's just one of those things I came up with one day randomly on the studio, and like his beats are crazy, so like I be having to adjust my flow on his, and that's just how that came together. We like going to skate parks, of course. So in the video, we always at skate parks. So in the video, the cameraman just pulled up and it was just vibe, a different vibe.
That's super sick. That's awesome. Yeah, I think like it comes across through your videos and your music and social media that this is who you are, this is what you want to put out, and this is really
Right.
important and personal to you.
Right.
It's awesome. It's funny because Stranger Things, the show, was also filmed near your hometown, right? Near Atlanta, like
Oh
that
yeah.
area. Yeah, there were parts of it filmed out there, which is really cool.
Wow. I wish I would have knew that. I would have definitely went there and got some scenes.
Yeah, next time, right? You
Yeah.
got to do Stranger Things Part 2.
I got to now. Like what? That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
So now that we're into the new year, your latest release was August 2024. What are some of your main priorities into this new year to push your career into that next level?
This year I'm focusing on like my brand, me, my team, 29 Skyy Entertainment. This year I'm just more so focused on the brand than just the music, because I mean the music is there. Like I have so much music, but I just want to focus on something more meaningful than just the music. And this year I'm launching my clothing brand, Joker. I'm gonna have plenty of releases, singles, tapes, albums, but I just want to more so focus on the brand. So you're gonna see me doing more interviews, more appearances, things of that nature, just to help the brand.
Absolutely. It's awesome that you mentioned that because I think it's so important for artists listening, anyone who's inspired by this interview, to diversify your income streams. You want to monetize yourself as the brand. You want to monetize other things that you can output, like merchandising or, like you said,
Exactly.
clothing line. I mean, that's something to think about for everyone who's pursuing this path. And also, I love the name Joker. I noticed on your social media you use some Joker images and use the name. What does Joker mean to you, and where'd you get the inspiration to kind of use that theme?
Well, I do. Yeah, I do the Joker a lot, but
I love it. I
Joker
love it.
is just like no one's ever like the Joker. I feel like I can relate. I just feel like I can relate to Joker, like just being the one that's counted out, talked bad about, just like the villain, like the bad guy in the story, and nobody really understands. Like I got hooked on Joker when the latest Joker came out. A lot of people don't really like it, but I kind of liked it because it kind of told the backstory of like who he was and things of that nature. So yeah, I just
Yeah,
kind of
that's
relate
sick.
to that.
That's really interesting. I think a lot of artists find inspiration from movies, pop culture, TV shows, things like that, where they see themselves kind of represented in a character. That's
Right,
interesting.
right.
Do you
Definitely,
feel
definitely.
like this story is relatable to you because it's like the villain turning into the hero, like kind of
Right.
moving into a different place? You might have
Yes.
come from that origin, but now you're pushing
But
past it.
exactly, and then the fact that people are still going to remember you being a bad guy, but you made it past that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that. I think that's super dope. It's super creative. What
Thanks.
does your
Appreciate it.
creative process really look like when you're writing new music, when you're thinking of concepts or ideas, or like when you were putting together your album?
Honestly, most of my creativeness and like what I come up with, it comes from like, just being up late, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I might have just probably took a nap or whatever, and I just got so much energy, and it's 4 a.m. Like, and I'm just, just thinking about things and like reflecting on life. I might turn on a beat, it just comes up always in those hours, just or like I might be out because I'm a very private person, so I might be out, been tired of being out around people, and then I just go in my bubble, and then greatness comes from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I always find myself songwriting when I'm driving around in my car by myself,
Right.
which is funny because, like, I guess there's something about being distracted or like physically doing something else and then letting your
Right.
mind like wander and get into that creative space. My only issue with it is that I have to like quickly pull up the voice record like memo app and make sure I
Yeah.
can like get the idea without crashing my
Right.
car.
That and or you might forget, like, and that's the worst because you could have something crazy and then just you forgot.
Have you ever like written a song in a dream or been like half asleep and thought of a melody or lyric and then you're like, "Oh my god, what was that?" the next day? That was the hit. That was the best thing I've ever written.
Actually, yes, I have, but I never turned it into a song. That's crazy.
No,
I
I've
never.
never I don't think I've really remembered it by the next day, but in the moment you're like,
Right, like
"Damn, that was
I've never,
amazing."
and then I might hum it, but I can never remember what I was saying in the song or in that dream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that has to be one of the most frustrating like songwriter experiences.
and I have my manager. he says he comes up. That's like so weird to me. Like people who can do that, like come up with things while they're asleep or half sleep. Like that's crazy.
I know, right? There needs to be like a study done on people who can do that.
Right. That's crazy. I wish I had that.
Absolutely. So, we're talking about making new music and what inspires you. So, what inspires you to keep going? Outside of just doing music, what inspires you to keep going in this industry and pursuing this dream? And what vision do you have for yourself?
I would say it's definitely my family, of course, God, of course. I do a lot of self reflecting, so it's just like a me versus me thing. Like I just always want to do better. I want to strive to do better. Like things of that nature. Like do the right thing, get more organized, just get better every year, or
Yeah. I mean, that's important. Self-reflection and I think accountability is something
right.
that artists really kind of either struggle with or need to improve on. I mean, myself included, I think holding yourself accountable, being organized with your time and
hmm
changing and evolving and not shying away from that. Those are some really important
Right.
elements.
Definitely, and that's just what keeps me going. It keeps me inspired.
That's awesome. I love that. I was actually going to ask you a question similar to that concept. So, in terms of creativity, how involved are you in the writing, production, visual development, that entire creative process, and what sets you apart from other artists?
Okay. I would say what sets me apart is I would do things that most people wouldn't probably want to do, or I not even think about doing, just because of their like they just a lot of people are like in a box, but I try to think outside of the box. And as far as like my music, the creative process, visuals, I'm behind everything. I'm telling them what I want, how I want it, and then I'm also willing to hear other people's advice and other people's visions, and so it kind of gets incorporated into one from there.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I think collaboration is such an important element too. Not
hmm
being a little like too stubborn or like too over controlling on the product because other people can bring in good ideas. And if your
hmm
ears are shut closed because you're like, this is my baby, no one can touch it,
Right.
you're gonna miss out on all those good ideas that could come from input.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
you
what
were
I
you were
try.
saying like, collaborating with a producer like your cousin, that's something that's really cool too, having that personal relationship with your producer because even if you're just hanging out as friends, you can come up with something cool. Has that ever
Exactly.
happened?
Yes, all the time. Like all the time, it happens. Like I might just be vibing with the bros, and they just like, cause I'm friends with a lot of artists, so we kind of just collab, come up with things. Especially with my producer, though, we always just come up with crazy ideas and crazy on the mute. Just not even music, just beats, lyrics, performing, visuals, things of that nature. Like just everything.
That's fire. I mean, community is so big in this industry and so important. It can feel difficult to build community sometimes because it's like you're looking over your shoulder, like, are you going to stab me in the back today or are we going to be friends? But I think
Right.
having a genuine community that helps each other out, like, build up your strength, I build up someone else's strength, they build up your strength. That really matters. Like, if you have a
Right.
friend who's a crazy good vocalist, you're a crazy good rapper, your other friend's a crazy good producer, why not let all of that juices marinate together and make something
Feel
great,
me?
you know?
And that's what I love about the whole and the music thing, because it's not just music. It can be a collaboration of everything, and then it's perceived as just music, but it's a little deeper than that.
I think music and art is one of the most vulnerable places that we can be. It's
Right.
super intimate and personal when you're sharing your own experiences. Even if it's a hype party song, like there's still something in your life, in your past that inspired that moment that now you're
Right.
sharing with everyone else, which I think is one of the most beautiful parts of music.
Exactly.
So I know being an artist, it's not for the weak. We can always be
Definitely.
our own worst critic sometimes.
Mhm.
I know I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes, and that can help you, but also hold you back. So
Mm-hmm.
could you share some parts of this career that you really excel at, things that you're amazing at, and then other things that you want to improve on and keep learning more?
Okay. I would definitely say is focus on not just the music, like the recording aspect, because I've been like I'm always in my head in the studio. Like me and my producer, that's the first thing we do. That's go to the studio. So more this year, I want to work on like what outside of the studio things that's like interviews, appearances, things of that nature. And I got the performance thing right. I just have to do better with my time, things of that nature. Being on time, making sure I know about other events that's going on outside in the community, just things like that. Like just minor things. It's definitely minor things, but they're major at the same time. Like to the overall goal.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, minor things, they're little, details, pieces of the puzzle, but if you're missing too many of those pieces, you're not going to put anything together. So
Right.
every little step that you're working to improve yourself and improve your craft, all of that matters and it counts.
hmm Yeah. That's why I just try to focus on more so outside of the studio, stand into like with the community networking, things of that nature, because the music is there, the creativeness is there.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I like that you're saying it like that because networking and being a brand and putting yourself out there as a person, that's a skill. And that's a skill like anything else that you have to practice and keep getting better at. And
Right.
you kind of have the hard part down already, like the creativity, the rapping, the music. That's the part that a lot of people might not get to, like you need to really dig deep and hone those skills to be able to have a product that you want to put out. Beyond
Definitely.
that, developing yourself as a brand, as the artist persona, as being a force and a presence, that's I feel like that's the fun part. I feel like that's just like, okay, like
Exactly.
I can just mess around and be myself and really show that personality behind the music, the person making it, because I'm already confident in the music that I'm making.
Exactly. And that's a it takes a while to get there, like to be as like musically inclined with the creative process and things of that nature. Like it takes a while because I've been rapping, making songs on my own for years before I even dropped the song. So it kind of some people it's not like that. So it's like a
Yeah.
development process for them.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like I've been developing my own artistry and my sound like, since I was in high school. So it's really just
Right.
like it's an evolving process forever, even if you're an established artist, but I think
Right.
getting to the point that you feel comfortable enough in your sound, in your image, in
Right.
your brand to put something out, you are already like half the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah, that's
got
half the battle right there.
through the really tough parts of figuring out like what am I even going to be? What am I even going to
Right.
sound like?
Exactly. You hitting it right on the head because I don't even think about these things when it's happening, but it's definitely real.
100%. And every little thing that you might not be thinking about consciously, you look back and you're like, "Oh, that was a decision that I made." Whether
Right.
I knew there was another option at the moment or not, that's a decision I made. That's who I am as an artist or a person, and that's what I'm bringing into this next project. So, creatively, where do you see yourself going next with your next releases? Are you thinking an album? Are you thinking more singles?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do more singles this year. I'm gonna kind of lay off on the albums and the big projects. Just focus on singles and getting as much content as I can out there with those. And I wanted to do an AI project.
Well, that's really cool. What are you thinking of that? Like, how are you going to incorporate the AI into your music?
I'm just gonna I already have the tracks recorded. I'm just gonna have AI do my ad libs, in and outs, other things that I want to incorporate into the song, and then I'm gonna drop a like a AI project as far as the look. I'm gonna drop videos, official music videos, AI video.
That's really cool. I like that concept. That's like integrating your organic work with something AI is doing. It's funny that you're talking about that because I'm involved in like an AI and music research study kind of thing right now where I'm working with students to create AI inspired music where there's different
Mm,
elements of AI stuff that we're putting in there, elements that we're putting in there organically. I do think that's going to be the next wave. Like, I don't think anyone wants 100% AI complete engineered or written music because
exactly.
it's going to sound robotic. It's going to sound bad.
Exactly.
But, why not take a little bit of the load off? If you got ins and outs, ad libs, that stuff is honestly so much more important for the listener than the artist, if that makes sense. Like, we're
Yeah,
not getting as much by writing or recording those ad libs or ins and outs than the listener's getting from having it fill the space and making the song feel
exactly.
bigger. So I think that's
Exactly.
definitely a task that you could delegate to AI very easily.
hmm And that's what we're working on right now. In the midst of dropping our actual projects and singles, we're gonna be dropping that.
That's sick. I mean, singles are important too because that's how you gain traction and you can kind of pivot slightly your sound depending on what does better, what doesn't do as well.
So that's my focus for this quarterly of the year. So I'm kind of excited about it. That's why I'm telling every. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. You got to document that whole experience. I'm excited about your expansion of your catalog, but out of the songs that you've released now, which one of them could you potentially see being featured in a video game, movie, TV show, like synchronized into media? Which one could you kind of see in a movie?
That's a great question. I haven't. I don't think I've reached that level yet, but I
Manifest it,
could.
dream big, dream big. Tell me which one you think you would want to put out there.
I would say Rockstar for sure. Just because
Absolutely.
the hook is catchy. It's like it gives you the makes people feel like Rockstar. So
Yeah, and,
maybe
and
I would
just the
say
name
that.
alone too, like that's powerful. So you're already drawn to it by the name, and then the song being catchy, of course, like that makes whatever is showing on the screen recognizable.
Right, right. Yeah, Rockstar for sure. People love that song.
So this question can be difficult to agree on a right answer for. Every artist that I've asked this question answers it a little bit differently. So, do you have a plan B or a backup plan on standby, or is this like 100% full throttle, everything's on the line right now for your career?
I would say it's it's 100% for sure because I don't believe in not going putting 100% in anything. But it's 100% for sure. But I have other ideas and things that I can fall back on if push
Yeah,
comes to shove. You know that what if? But I'm full throttle.
I
I'm
love
in
that.
it to win it.
100%. You gotta truly commit, and you have to commit to not only the work but to believing in yourself enough to push it forward and devote the time that's necessary because it's really time consuming.
Right. And I'm willing to, go like you said, 100%. I'm in it.
No, that's sick. That's sick. I love that. I mean, you really have to be 100%. And something another artist answered to that question was, my backup plan is still my main plan. I'm just expanding on my brand development, like you're doing with your clothing line. This other artist also had a clothing line and they were doing a record label and managing people and doing this and doing that. So it's really about finding multiple income streams within
Right.
the overarching existence of your brand. I mean, that's what I'm
Exactly.
doing with Keep It Jasmine multimedia experience, really expanding my brand image beyond being an artist into my podcast, The Jasmine Ortiz Show, into
hmm
my involvement with Artist Uncut, into interviewing artists like yourself. It's all about making the magic wherever you go, no matter what it is that you're doing.
Right. Definitely. I definitely salute you for it. You got it
Thank
going. I
you.
ain't gonna lie.
So, can you share what some of the toughest challenges that you faced and had to overcome while pursuing your career in music?
Challenges. Just adjusting like to being a rapper or whatever, a musician, artist. It's just transition from being like the regular lifestyle that I used to live to now. It's way different. I can't handle things I'm normally used to handling them because I'm a brand, so it's different now. It's on a different level, and that's
100%.
definitely the hard part. I would say just coming from where I'm from, it's just like kind of hard dealing with different environments, things of that nature.
What was the reaction like from friends, family, people you grew up with when you told them or shared that you were finally like pursuing this full throttle, you're pursuing this career as a rapper?
I'm really only doing this because of the support that I receive just off making music. Like, like I might send a song to a friend, family member, my dad, my mom. They like, oh my God, like, they playing it, they listening to it. So it's just like, why not for me? It's like, why not pursue this?
Yeah, I think that support system and having other people believe in you, even before you feel comfortable 100% believing in yourself, that
Right.
really, it makes the transition a little bit easier because I think
Definitely.
there's so much stigma almost around pursuing this career. If you're not already like Drake, Rihanna, Megan, like if
Right.
you're not them, then what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you trying? You know,
Yeah.
you're not really doing anything. There's so many people that want to sow doubt, but then you look at them and they're like, they hate their job, they hate their day to day,
You
and
feel me?
they're almost taking that out on the fact that you have enough belief in yourself to actually go off the beaten path.
Nah,
So
right.
I think it's awesome that you have that community of support because that makes all the difference in the world.
Definitely, man. It takes a strong individual to take this path and be willing to go the long route of the naysayers, the doubters, what comes with it.
100%. And part of this is just developing that thick skin. It's a learning process. You have to
It
realize
is.
people are in your life for seasons that they're meant to be, and some people are going to be there from season 1 to season 100. Some people are going to be there for one season only. So when you look in the mirror and reflect on your inner self, what do you see? Who is the real G Hendrix right now?
Well, I'm a son, a brother, a cousin. So I'm not just G Hendrix to me when I look in the mirror. It's deeper than that. So I see a king, though, definitely. I see a king, but I'm also a son, brother, and I have different responsibilities to people that I have to keep up and that I value.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's awesome something that you touched upon, like all these different roles that we hold in our lives for ourselves and for other people, our roles in their lives too. All of that informs and creates who we become, who we are, and what kind of artist we are. And I agree. I mean, you're so much more than your artistry. You're more than just your talent. You're more than just your music. So it's important to recognize and give love to that person underneath it all, the person whose soul and heart is really driving what you're doing.
Right, exactly. And that's how I keep going every day. Just to think about that relationships that I have with people that I care about. It's just like it's deeper than that than just me. I don't see when I look in the mirror, I don't see just me. I see everybody that I care about.
Wow. That's powerful. I really have enjoyed talking to you. Thank you so much for being here on the show. I want you to spell out your Instagram handle so everyone listening and watching can follow along and hear about all your 2025 releases.
Okay, it is at G3 Hendrix on Instagram. So G3HENDRIX.
Awesome. And we can find you as G Hendrix, spelled the same way, on Spotify, YouTube, all that, right?
Yeah, G Hendrix everywhere. YouTube, Google, Spotify, I'm everywhere. Google me.
Perfect. For everyone tuning in around the world, my name is Jasmine Ortiz. You can find me at I am Jasmine Ortiz on all platforms. IAMJASMINEORTIZ. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, all of the above. Shout out once again to Miser Media, Radio Pushers, everyone who's believed in me and pushed me so far in this career. Thank you all so much for listening and tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.